Hello there. There has been an announcement for new content for the Season Pass number 3 for Tekken 7. I want to discuss a bit about the content in there. If you look at some of my recent tweets, it might sound like I'm angry or something like that. But that's why I'm making this video, so you can see my mannerisms, how I speak to people normally. Obviously, I don't go around wearing Claudio costume normally, but that's besides the point. So let's get down to the content. So first of all, they have an updated. Why am I using this finger? They have an updated combo sample system. So the combo samples that you have in practice mode, they've updated them to include new screws and probably more damaging combos, because the ones that were already there weren't that good anyway. So okay, that's good. Then the replay system, they call it My Replay in Tips, so you can save your matches and then watch them again, like it was in Tekken Tag 2, except this time they implemented a new feature, where if there's an opportunity for you to punish something, like for example something is minus 12, minus 13, the game tells you, hey, you could have punished that. So it teaches people to start analyzing their matches better. I think it's a good thing they implemented that, and it's free too. And another thing is the punishment practice, which is, so you select your character and the character you want to study against. And then there's like a series of unsafe moves that the game tells you to punish, and you have a suggestion for punishment, for moves that you can use to punish those unsafe moves. So that's good too, because I mean, a lot of people online don't know what punishment is, and if the game tells them, hey, you can do this, maybe they'll get a bit better. So, and Tekken 7 doesn't have a tutorial mode anyway, so it's a good step forward. The other feature is the Bearded Man costume. It's basically Harada. You know how in the Negan trailer, Harada was basically in the game, Negan was talking trash to him. Well, it was a joke then, but they actually made it into a costume that you can equip in some characters. So now you can do that. I think it's funny. And it's free too. So what about the paid stuff? Well, if you already have the season pass, you don't need to worry about this. It's going to be free to you if you have the season pass. If you don't, it's going to be about 4 euros. What is it then? It's frame data. You know, people have been ranting and raving and raging about this on Twitter. Okay, sure. But I don't care about them. I'm going to say what I think about it. There are good things and there are bad things about it. So, for a long time, people have asked for frame data in the game, and Harada opposed it because, oh, it might drive the casuals off, might drive them away. Oh, it takes a lot of time to implement that, and it might be costly. And those are valid concerns, okay. So, it's good to see that they're changing their way of thinking a bit and realizing that if this game is going to be competitive, then it needs to have frame data, because it's important to the game, even though you can already find frame data for free elsewhere. But nevertheless, it does require additional costs. And on top of that, they also added in these extra free things, maybe to compensate for the fact that you have to pay for a frame data. And what you have to pay isn't even that much. It's what, 4 euros? It's like 3 ice creams. So, is it good? Is it bad? Is it terrible? Is it a moral outrage? It's not a moral outrage, and I don't think it's terrible. But you can find it for free elsewhere. On PC, you can get a bot that does the exact same thing. So, I mean, if you want to go and buy it, sure, go ahead. If you already have the season pass, no problem. I myself am not going to buy it. I uninstalled the game, actually. Why did I uninstall the game? Was it because of the frame data being a paid feature? No, it was kind of... It was an amalgamation of things that have been accumulating over the years. So, I'll try to be quick about it. I have some reasons here. So, first of all, this game, Tekken 7, it has been out in arcades, in Asian arcades, for what? Since, I don't know, 2015, 2016? So, we've been watching the game for a long time already. I'm going to say I, not we. I should be saying I. So I watched the game But I mean, it's true. Everybody else besides the Asians that were playing the game watched the game for a long time, for like 2 years before it came out on consoles. But I'm gonna speak in the first person anyway. So I was very excited about the game, and then the game came out, and I played it for a bit, for a good while. I played it for 2 years now, right? And it's cool to see that the game gets updates and new characters, new features, new whatever, new costumes. It's cool to see that. It keeps the game kind of fresh. Kind of, because despite the balance changes and all the updates, it's still Tekken 7, right? So it's still the same game that I've been watching since 2015. And now it's 2019. It's almost 2020. So that's almost 5 years with the same game. It's kind of like in Tekken Tag 2, where I spent a lot of time playing the same game and I got bored. It's natural. So I got kind of bored of the game too. Tekken is always fun, because it's competitive too. And it's always cool to see the characters doing their flashy moves and whatever. And obviously I spent a lot of time in competition, whatever. Look, I even got this costume, right, because I like Claudio so much. I even got a Noctis cosplay as well. But, as I've said, there are things that have accumulated over the years that made me quite dislike the game. And I won't get into details when it comes to some of the things, but I do have quite some lists here, which I put on Twitter too. For example, the game has weird balance decisions. Like, for example, how they decide to nerf Geese every single patch, but Akuma always gets buffs. I mean, the gameplay was also built to be more about aggressive poking rather than movement and defense. A lot of times when I go to practice mode, I end up finding that I have no options in certain situations but to just guess. I can't do an option select that makes my opponent think a bit harder to conduct his offense. So for example, in Tekken Tag 2 you could sidestep and block. Something like that. And you could mix up your defensive options pretty well. And move and dodge a lot of things. But sidestep and backdashes were nerfed. And moves have more forward momentum, more plus frames. And more safe homing mid-counter hit launchers that you just throw out and you put it on the screen. And, I mean, if it hits, okay, you get rewarded. If it doesn't, you're safe anyway. So the risk-reward is kind of skewed towards aggression. Then there was the Tekken Bowling DLC, which I just didn't like. I got it because it came with the deluxe edition, which came with the season pass. So I didn't play it. I only played it once to see what it was about. I didn't like it, so I didn't play it anymore. I think that was weak. Then there's the fact that rage exists. So basically, hey, you lost the entire match. You made a series of bad decisions. Even if you don't necessarily need to make a bad decision to lose health in this game. Now the guy activates his rage drive or rage art, and now he can get a comeback. It's plus frames, it has range billion, it's homing, it's a launcher, it wall splats, it does everything, basically. And you can say, well, you can use the same with your character. Okay, sure, but, I mean, it depends a bit on the character that you use. So, for example, Claudio's rage drive is pretty good. But still, it feels like at any point in the match you can just lose because the guy decided that, oh, I'm going to throw out a launcher. There's also the thing about Zafina being put in the game because a lot of people cried on Twitter. I don't think she was that popular. Look, I don't dislike the character. I quite like her. I played her a bit in Tekken Tag 2. And even played her a bit in Ranked in Tekken 7 a while ago. But it's just, look, you're gonna say that you don't give in to terrorist demands, and then you put Zafina in the game, and everybody's happy again. So, I don't think she should be in the game, along with certain other characters. But okay, that's my opinion. Ranked is stupid because ranking up is too easy. Getting demoted is harder than it is to rank up. Pluggers don't get punished. Boosters don't get punished. What else? Oh, you can save scum on PC and nothing happens. So you have a bunch of people up there in the ranks. So it's kind of a joke. First to 2 in this game, competitively, is a messy scramble. it's too messy. You don't have much time to figure out what your opponent is going to do or what he wants to do. So you kind of just play aggressively, and you do a bunch of gimmicks, and unless you get to like low level, intermediate level, mix-ups, launchers, and do whatever. High level, okay, now you're playing good Tekken. Sometimes. Also, there's the fact that I play on PS4 because I can't afford a PC yet. One that works. You see this thing here? This is a laptop, but this is pretty old. In fact, this is so broken that sometimes sometimes it just disconnects from the internet randomly. So I can't afford a PC, so I'm stuck in PS4 where it lags a lot. And so you might say, hey, how about you attend locals? Oh, that's great, except that locals in my country mean driving to almost the other side of the country for like 3 hours. It's just very expensive to go there. So I'm really just stuck playing on PS4. Most of the players here, in my country at least, are on PC. A lot of the good players too are on PC. It's hard to find people around my skill level on PS4. So I'm kind of stuck there. And online sucks anyway. So, with all this in mind, with all of this, it's not because of the frame data that I uninstalled the game. It's just kind of one more thing on top of the other things that I find, really, you want to pull one of those right now? So, with all of this in mind, I came to quite dislike the game. If I don't like the game, why should I play it? So, do you find it unreasonable what I'm saying here? If I find the game kind of boring because it's been out for a long time, if I don't like how the game is competitively, since I do go to tournaments, what is there else for me to do if I don't like the game and I don't want to pay more money for it, and if I can't really afford stuff to play the game properly? I don't think I should be playing the game anymore. I'm not angry at the game. I just don't like it. Are you going to make me like the game? No, I don't think you are. Thus, I uninstalled the game and I will not be playing further. Okay then, that's about it. I don't have any catchphrase or something to sign off, so I'll just say goodbye.